let's talk a little bit about World Cup. And you brought this up, and I think this is one of the more fun handicapping angles that really hasn't been like truly digested. At least I haven't heard anyone really kind of say like this. There is a betting angle here because of the break. And I'm just, I'm curious, like what, putting yourself, having experienced this, like in the player's position, like it is pretty important, I feel like, to go to the World Cup and show up on the biggest stage if you intend to like ultimately cash in as a professional. And so how do you balance like the responsibilities of like, hey, I'm competing for my I'm competing for my home club, and on top of that, trying to make my mark internationally to to score that next contract. Like, how do you balance all that while also competing in the Premier League as a professional this year?
Well, I don't think you balance it. The problem is you have to go full tilt on both angles. And when we talk about, I listen to some managers and even my own manager over the years. There's a World Cup hangover for these players. Yes, physically, but mentally, it's the greatest. It's the greatest ever moment. Every single player that has pulled on a shirt for their country in the World Cup will say, outside of having my children, and sometimes equal to, it's the greatest single moment of my life. And it's emotionally draining. And normally that happens in the summer. You go away on holiday, you take your family away for a month, you put your feet up, you come back to preseason. And even then, after about 4 to 8 weeks, there's still a hangover. There's still a hangover going into September. This year, you finish the World Cup and you've got about 10 days to get right back in it. And so I think there's going to be a hangover for a lot of those players. From a betting standpoint, I think the teams naturally who are going to do better are the bigger teams with more money with bigger squads, right? So they'll be able to rotate more. They'll be able to have more substitutions. They'll be able to play players who maybe didn't go to the World Cup but are still incredibly talented because they spent a ton of money in the summer to make their squads healthier and stronger. So the teams that will suffer are going to be the smaller teams with smaller budgets, but that's natural.
Are there any teams in particular that you think with the deeper PL benefits with having the roster, like which ones are the team that you want to note?
Well, look, I think the two for me are Liverpool, Manchester City. We talk about them all the time, but to your point, Mo Salah. Mo Salah is a Golden Boot winner. He's not going to the World Cup. He's going to be fresh as a daisy coming out of the break, right? Manchester City could essentially field two different teams in the Premier League and still probably finish in the top four, right? So they're going to be able to rotate their squad and rest players, and so it's. And then listen, we know the title is going to be decided by very few points, right? So coming out of the World Cup, starting on Boxing Day, December 26th, which one of these teams is going to drop points? Which one of them is going to go on a run? That's where, for me, the real money is.
Ooh, I love it. Do you have any thoughts on Team USA? We're coming up here. We're in Group B. We're plus 110 to qualify for the knockout stage, so you can get plus money just to get us out of group. 600 to win Group B. Of course, England is sort of the monster in our group, but I don't know, we match up okay with them. I think they're known to be a little bit on the choky end of World Cup international play in general. I guess what are your thoughts on Team USA as we head into what should be a pretty awesome opportunity?
I think they get out of the group. I do. It's a tough group. What I would say is you can get out of the group on 4 points in certain years, which means a loss, a win, and a draw. England being the first game is good because I think goal differential will play a part. It often does in group stages. So if they can have a good performance against England, I don't think they'll beat England. I don't think anyone's really picking them to beat England. But if they have a good performance against England, keep the scoring down, keep it a tight game, and then go on and win one or two of their other games, I think England will batter some of those teams in the group, right? And so when it comes down to that final day, you, me, and everybody else is going to be looking in the 80th minute, 90th minute, where it's going to be about goal difference within that group. And so do I think they'll qualify? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. But I also think in that group, England's one of my favorites to go on and win the World Cup. I don't think the field is incredibly strong. I don't like Brazil's team chemistry. They haven't really been clicking, and but England, this isn't England's golden generation. By their own admission, England's golden generation failed, but this generation of players are together. They got a brilliant manager in Gareth Southgate, and they've shown that they can compete. And they've been in the semifinals and finals of World Cups and European Championships. They're prime. This now they're no longer kids. They're ready for it. So big World Cup for them.
All right. So would you take England to take the World Cup then over France, Brazil, like you said, Argentina, Spain, Germany, like all these teams?
Yeah, look, I think Germany and Argentina, will be strong. I think France, of course, will be strong, but this England team's got something. They really do.
How do you feel about a team like Belgium, who has sort of the kind of golden generation as well at the this is last chance to really
Yeah.
do something with all that talent. Similarly, Messi, like Messi's probably his last opportunity to win a World Cup. Do you think these guys have anything left in the tank that could kind of get there?
It's the end. Belgium, God, I love those guys. I love the manager, so many of the players. I play with them, friends with, but they didn't live up to the hype. They've stumbled at every hurdle. This is, as you said, this is the last exit for their golden generation. I don't know if they get it done. I don't think so.
Oh man. Well,
I guess we'll see.
It would. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say none of those guys should be disappointed. They've done some amazing things.
Yes.
They have had incredible careers, but
Absolutely.
it is going to be an especially tough path. I've heard some people make some pretty impassioned cases that Argentina is a little bit underpriced right now, that they're actually a little bit more dangerous than the market realizes. They have a little bit of a tough group, but assuming they win group, their path then kind of breaks a little bit easy. So I think Argentina is worth circling, but interesting shout. Yeah.
They're worth circling because also this is the group that hadn't won, and then they finally got over the hump and won the Copa America, right? So they understand now that winning feeling as a group. They all won individually throughout their careers, but they understand that winning feeling as a group. And so I think that is important to know. And their path there, as you said, is slightly easier.
Oh, that's interesting. So there is something there in terms of getting over the hump as a group that carries over.
Definitely, absolutely, I think so. It's muscle memory, right? It's the same. Our mind works the same. It's that winning feeling. Thinking if you can't do it and you never do it, you don't think you can. But when you finally get it, it's that monkey off your back, and you think you can go again.
I love it.
True stuff. It's great analysis, Tim. Appreciate having you today, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. And if you're not following Tim already, make sure you go get him on Twitter at Tim Howard, GK as in goalkeeper. Make sure you watch his analysis to the Premier League this season on NBC, Peacock, and USA. Tim, thank you so much, man. Enjoy the week.
Well, Drew, appreciate you guys. Thank you.